This is Sybert signing in to Kane's Wrath on the map Tournament Arena. In the top left-hand corner as the Cyan Traveler 59, this is Futurama. And in the bottom right-hand corner as the red Blackhand, this is Bike Rush. And this is being played live, so this is as fresh as it can get. I know some people have been pointing out the fact, as I myself pointed out, that the last couple of games were a little bit older replays. I wanted to catch up on some of the great games that I had missed during my absence from casting. And for those of you who, despite the fact that I uploaded 2 videos with Scrin in them, could not find those videos, even though they're among like the 10 that I've uploaded since coming back, this one is for you. This is a classic matchup. It takes me back to the 2013, 2014-ish days. Oh my gosh, Bike Rush, you cruel, cruel man. For those of you wondering, you can actually kill Tiberium crystals, and Bike Rush is manually killing the blue tib of his opponent. That is a next level move. Of course, Bike Rush, well known for leeching blue Tiberium as soon as he possibly can in a game, and in this case, he's denying his opponent's blue tib, which is just a cruel, cruel thing to do. But this matchup, Blackhand versus Traveler 59, this like takes me way back to when Master Leaf would mass descent rush everyone, and people were so upset by it. And it was tremendously fun to watch, tremendously frustrating to play against. And in this case, this Gunwalker is going to head on down south, and he's going to get an eye on exactly what is going on. Now keep in mind, 2 or 3 blue Tiberium crystals have already been destroyed, and these bunkers are going to be hard for that single Gunwalker to break, which means Bike Rush has an opportunity to get at least 1 or maybe 2 more kills. And it looks like even the Buzzer Squad that was attached to that Gunwalker wasn't enough to clear out that bunker. Okay, I need to highlight something that happened here because I missed it in the live game. So Bike Rush's Cabal Squad in this bunker ordinarily would be insta-killed by the Buzzer attached to the Gunwalker. However, Bike Rush ejects the Confessor Cabals from the bunker, throws a Cabal grenade at just the right time, and it lands in just the right place. This causes the Gunwalker to see the Buzzer as an enemy and attack it, which is what you see there. A really cool moment that I totally missed in the live casting of this game. Bike Rush able to snipe down the Buzzer Squad, no problemo, and that means, again, he might have the opportunity to kill another 1 or 2 of those crystals. A couple of bikes going to be coming on out, and some early pressure from Futurama, who may be someone called Drive. I don't know. I'm going to call him Futurama. And if that name is wrong, I hope someone can correct me. These 2 guys have been playing 10, 11, maybe even 12 games today. I have the replays for some of them, and I am going to check some of them out. But for now, we've got this game, so hopefully it's a good one, although I guess if it's a bad one, you won't actually be seeing this video. Sell-off of a power plant to try and hold this attack. The lightning spike means this is somewhat of an investment. Going to be dropping a Hand of Nod to help deal with this as the Scorpion tank's trying to rotate around the War Factory for those repairs, but no Gunwalkers in the descents or no Buzzers, yeah, to deal with these missile squads, which means you got to back off. You can't hold there forever, especially when the descents are that far away. I think he's going to use the descents to try and body block the Scorps, but no, it looks like Bike Rush is just going to pull back. 2 sacrificial Seeker tanks will die, and Bike Rush, he's going to have to deal with fast leg descents from 2, yeah, they are called portals. I was like, that can't be right for the alien barracks. A portal? No. They're going to grab themselves 1 Scorpion tank and looks like 1 Cabal squad, but I assume they're going to have to turn around at some point, although they can grab all 3 of these rocket squads without too much trouble at all. I don't know if it's enough to really push in right at this moment, but in the north, a big swarm of descents going to be coming on in. Harvesters pulled back, and of course, multiple Shredder turrets will allow them to kind of pause. But this is a lot of descents, which of course is why the Harvesters are hiding on the south side of that War Factory. A second group of descents in the south here going to be going for the Harvesters, which are much more exposed and have a real shot at killing a lot of those descents in the north. Looks like they were mostly cleared up, and the Shredder turret is enough to push this smaller group of descents away in the south, and he's not actually going to get any Harvester kills here, so Bike Rush holds it just fine. No real economic damage. Yes, a little bit of lost mining time, but it doesn't look like any Harvesters went down, although there were 2 Harvesters harvesters here. Now this guy's got sent up for the blue Tiberium, so he's all right there. BikeRush going to be keeping an eye on this harvester, going for that blue Tiberium, which may give him an opportunity to send a couple of bikes down to that south blue field and snipe the harvester either on the way there or on the way back. Scorpion tanks potentially en route as the buggies are swarming around these descents. And when you've got this many buggies just camped right outside of your barracks, it's hard to deal with. Third portal going to be going down, and the phase cannon, photon cannon, is going to be able to help with this a little bit, but this harvester on the run, getting chased by those scorpions, and this is enough buggies that they can deal with a large number of descents. Probably wants to go for the blue, for the Tiberium harvester that's full of blue. Is probably the weirdest way to possibly say that. But that one harvester with a lot of cash inside of it will eventually go down, assuming BikeRush does decide to finish that off. And there it finally does die, so no extra cash for Futurama. BikeRush doesn't want to hang around here for too long, as those photon cannons do have pretty good DPS. And that is it. A quick game. This is Sybert signing into Tournament Rift. Just kidding. It's Tiberium Rift, the community twist on Tournament Rift. And a little bit of Twisted Rift action going on here in the top left-hand corner. As the red Steel Talons, this is BikeRush. And in the bottom right-hand corner, as the Cyan Black Hand, he's actually marked of Kane, this is Futurama. And this is being played live right here, guys. So this is as fresh as you can possibly get. This is not a replay from last week or last year. This is from now. As now as you can possibly get a random Steel Talons versus Marked of Kane. Not a matchup you see possibly ever, but certainly not very often. And it's definitely a matchup that I can think of 0 games being this matchup. I mean, surely I've seen at least one game in this matchup, but I can't think of anything. It's not like, you know, Black Hand or GDI or Traveler, any of those much more commonly played factions. Steel Talons and Marked of Kane are very difficult for players to do what they want. Some limited options there, and we'll have to see. Futurama, I guess, is also Drive. I don't know. I'm going to call him Futurama because that's his name in this game. And then, of course, you guys pretty much all know BikeRushOwnz. Is he going to be going for a little bit of sneaky mobile repair kind of play? Or is this purely just for scouting purposes? Looks like one Pitbull going to be joining. A second one is on the way. Expansion timings pretty much mirrored standard game overall. Going for the low power refinery while BikeRush dropped that second power plant. And yeah, is that 3 Pitbulls out on the field? Kills the buggy. Going to be denying that scout a 4th Pitbull, and any more, and BikeRush, oh, he may be just looking to deny that blue. But no, the harvester turns around. He's not going to get the harvester kill at the blue field. He may still pick up the harvester, but not right there. There's the EMP. Nice locking down that mobile repair, and 5th Pitbull on the way, and it looks like he's going to transition into harvester. So get his eco going after those Pitbulls, and there's enough bikes here to push this back at least for now, but keep in mind, losing that Pitbull is unfortunate. Keep in mind the mobile repairs do give this push potentially more power than it otherwise would have. And there's that long-distance heavy harvester going for the blue Tiberium from BikeRush. He's going to guard it with these Pitbulls. Even the rifleman going to be popping on out. Trades a pit for a bike. So far, even Steven. One more buggy going to be heading out here to tank a couple of shots. And as long as BikeRush keeps this harvester here, keeps his harvester safe, rather, then this attack will pretty much be worth it, because leeching that blue field, denying it from your opponent, is good enough, especially when you're trading relatively evenly, even if it's one bike for one Pitbull. That is certainly good enough with that blue Tiberium. Expansions opening up, both players taking their natural without any contest. Up to 6 pits on the front line. Only 4 bikes here, but Scorpion tanks are starting to join them. The buggy as well can help with that defense. There's the pullback, but again, Got that blue tib. No second harvester, just doing the one for now. Not worried about getting all of the blue Tiberium. Sometimes you see players be a little bit more greedy. They go for 2 or even 3 harvesters. Really make sure that all of that blue tib is gone as early as possible. 4 bikes on the south side. Going to be looking for some angles while the Scorps transition to the northern defense. Second refinery is going down, and I assume second war factory going to be on the way soon, but not just yet. Bikes do pull back. They decide not to commit to the harassment. There's a second war factory for Futurama, and he's going for a scouting buggy in the north. 1 Titan on guard, a second one going to be joining it, and it looks like Bike Rush might be moving out again. Going to be going for that blue Tiberium with the harvester, wants to keep it safe. At least a little bit with that single transport. Buggy in the north, going to get caught, will get killed. Probably sees all 3 of those Titans. Doesn't see too much else, although Futurama is really going to see everything in the middle of the map here. 4, no 5 Scorpion tanks into the middle, but pits are here in pretty good numbers. This harvester may want to get on out of there, and those mines are going to help a little bit there. That mobile repair APC may actually escape, albeit just barely half a harvester worth of Tiberium, and the Scorps having to pull all the way around to avoid those mines. Pitbull's trading with the buggies and the bikes in the middle of the map, and eventually mobile repair does go down. Mines slowing down Futurama just a little bit. He's got his second base eco up and running, so he's going to be happy about that. Could even try and leech a little bit of that blue Tiberium for himself, but for now, into airfield with the hammerheads for Bike Rush, also going for the tech center. I assume for railguns, given the just sheer number of Titans that he's continuing to pump on out. And in the south, Bike Buggy Scorp is going to have a hard time standing against Pitbull Titan, especially if there are a couple of mobile repairs on the way. And hammerheads just give him a little bit of extra mobility as well. Orca Strike getting called in, and a little 5-tank hit squad. Ooh. Bike response at the Tib Chemical Plant. He knows he's about to get clicked. He has the opportunity to get himself wasted by some lovely, lovely one-clicks, which, you know, Bike Rush has certainly one-clicked enough players in the history of the game that I'm sure they feel justified getting back at him with it. Titans and a hammerhead in the north, Pitbulls and a hammerhead or 2 in the north, Titans in the south rather, and Avatars popping on out while it's stealth tanks in the north, which will definitely be able to deal with those Pitbulls a little bit easier. And there's the hammerheads going to be rushing on over. Pitbulls not actually going for a kill, going more for the drive-by. They want to go directly for the chemical plant. Drops the Ichor seed, gets a little bit of cash out of that, and sells off. Doesn't look like he necessarily got any other value for it. Would have been nice if he dropped the catalyst missile on that fresh refinery, but no. It looks like not just yet. Stealth tanks rolling in. They clean up 1 Titan. Don't want to trade out the stealth tanks, though. Want to keep those as live as much as possible. Killing off that Tib chemical plant is super annoying. Redeemer on the way for Futurama. Rotating around to the south side. Could catch these 4 Titans, but he's going to have to trade it pretty heavily for it. Stealth tanks heading down south. Hammerhead's going to be rejoining in the north, and one of them does get sniped. Bike Rush doing a good job. The fact that he has been pretty much uncontested in taking his natural and his third base is definitely good news for him. The Redeemer is going to escort this MCV out to the third base for Futurama. And Bike Rush, again, likes to keep that main blue Tib field a little bit safe. Ooh, Stealth Tank's going to be coming in on the south side. They will get spotted by that watchtower, and they are going to be given vision for some potential catalyst missile action. In the north, the Redeemer is going to be facing off against those Titans. There's the reveal for the Hammerheads to get the kills, and in the north, it looks like everything gets cleared up in the south. Rage Gen may be firing off, and these Titans going to be forced to pull back. Does Futurama not have enough cash? No, second refinery's here, so it doesn't really matter. He got the kill on the harvesters with the stealth tank, so that's okay. Although, gets 1 harvester. Almost? No, just gets the refinery. Doesn't get the harvester. 2 harvesters on this field, 1 very low on HP, vulnerable to a very quick snipe, and fewer 1-clicks than I would have expected. But with this 3rd field brings the opportunity for lots and lots more 1-clicks. A lot of harvesters on his natural that should be able to transition over now that things are getting set up, and another refinery going down, literally over the scarred remains of the previous refinery in the north. Couple of pits, yep, 2 pits, 2 Titans, and even a little missile squad. But this is a lot of stuff. Double engineer in the Redeemer, gonna make it tough to deal with. And 1 awakened squad gets sniped down. SAM sites on the front line, 2 of them getting some pretty good splash damage on these hammerheads. It's not enough to actually clean them up. Not even a single one goes down. A lot of them very low on HP. Rage Gen fires off, going to be forcing those Titans and the Pit Bulls back from the front line. Titans in the south with a couple of rocket troopers going to be running into those stealth tanks, and that is not really a combo you want to be fighting with the stealth tanks. They're pretty much going to trade effectively in terms of cost every single time. Black Hand, or Hand of Nod, going to be going down, and going to be able to snipe one of those Titans free and clear, which is great, and then a couple of rocket troopers and maybe some shredder turrets may be able to hold pretty much the rest of this off. Those snipes of the stealth tanks are pretty darn good. He's keeping them out of range. There's the scan. If he can get all of them. No, nice EMP on 2 of the Titans. There's the move in. Does trade out 1 stealth tank, but gets another, no, actually a 2nd stealth tank for 1 Titan, so doesn't want to give too many of those away. A couple more EMPs could help turn this tide and lock this down without too much more damage. Would be nice to still have like a refinery on this field, but for now this attack has been pushed back. Those stealth tanks want to be careful. They don't want to end up going down. And, Hammerhead's going to be showing up. A lot of coverage, a lot of splash damage. Could really do a lot of damage to these Hammerheads. They're going for the hub. They get the snipe there, and they're going to help clean up the rest of this base, fans them out into a line. The Titan's still alive, which gives this some hold on the ground, pushing Futurama completely out of his original main base. All of the important infrastructure is up north, but these stealth tanks, they got to be a little bit careful. Railgun Accelerator is going to be activated there, and yeah, not a whole lot else because those stealth tanks should be able to deal with that Titan. Gets a kill on another stealth tank, though. Not a lot of stealth tanks remaining. Railgun Mammoths. I know some of you guys really like to see that. There's the sell-off of the Marv Reclamator Hub, whatever it's called. The Marv facility going to be sold off immediately there, and 1 engineer, a 2nd engineer popping on out. You got to make those Steel Talons units work. That 1 pit bull gets absolutely annihilated by those stealth tanks. More and more SAM sites being set up in the north. This is really the stronghold, the main base, the new main base of Futurama. And of course, this is where his economic opportunity exists. Down in the south, though, again, Bike Rush pretty much unharmed this whole game. He did get clicked a little bit there. Looks like triple engineer, no 4th engineer, I guess. Nothing sitting in the 4th spot of the Marv, but that's how it goes. Going to be going for the snipe on the Redeemer Engineering Facility, and it looks like these Hammerheads may just barely get it. No, stealth tanks are going to show up, going to be forcing them, and with those Tib Core missiles, they do some hefty damage. Those Hammerheads get punished pretty hard, and Mammoth tanks with a Behemoth with Pit Bulls for support in the south, while the Redeemer is in the north, and this Marv, is Bike Rush going to be able to make anything happen? There's not a lot of static D in terms of taking out the ground army, but right now this Marv doesn't have any support. Titans, Behemoths would be able to chew through this base pretty darn easily. And right now, stealth tanks on the lookout. Even going to be dropping a disruption tower. It's been a long time since I actually saw one of those in a game, but 2 of them are down. Pitbull's going to be going for the snipe on the scout there, and just a little bit of Tib damage. 1 Behemoth gets sniped way out in the open. One of these guys that was pulling back from the south here, just not really doing anything, ends up getting sniped a little bit. 1 Venom going for the scout, probably just looking for anything that's worthy of a 1-click. Could try and get one of these harvesters as they're actually on the refinery, but again, this is the big money field over here. Still about half of it left, and I'm sure BikeRush would have loved to be able to leech some of this field, but unable to. Leaves one Titan way up in the north there. Snipes, and there's the one click. Doesn't really get all that much for it. I don't think any harvesters actually went down. Stealth tanks could be able to snipe this one hammerhead and maybe even one of these Titans. They got to be a little bit careful, though. You don't want to anger BikeRush for no reason. Double War Factory in the south, still pumping out Mammoth Tanks. Mammoth Tanks, a unit that in a competitive match a lot of players find difficult getting real value out of. They're so slow moving, they're tier 3, and oftentimes a lot of players run with more mobile armies. But hey, you're playing Steel Talons, you might as well play to your strengths. Everything's got railguns in the Steel Talons, and you know, the Titans just look awesome, so you gotta play your strengths. Supercharged lasers coming out for Futurama. Supersonic Airstrike gets pretty much all of the Venoms except for 2, and the Pitbulls are cleaning up the rest. That one Venom escapes. He was part of a Venom club with like 30 members 2 minutes ago, and now everyone's dead. Unfortunate for him. Going to be dropping the laser field on the tech lab, and it looks like avatars are here for the defense. A lot of avatars. 8 avatars here with these base defenses, and BikeRush is going to be able to chew through quite a lot of this, but EMPs could be the secret sauce that Futurama needs to hold this in the south. A couple of Venoms going to be putting out some damage as well, but for now, this attack will not be stopped. BikeRush has a huge force here, and as long as he's able to just... Oh, actually, Shockwave Artillery and Orbital Strike is going to make this a lot easier, locking down 4, no, 5 of those avatars, keeping them out of this battle, keeping their DPS away from this army. Even Vertigo's getting in on the action, and the slow march forward for BikeRush, chewing through these avatars, but does he have enough to actually go the distance? The Behemoth's not putting as much power out as he would like. And on the other side, it looks like the Marv not doing a whole lot in this fight. Venom's starting to overwhelm pretty much everything here. The MCV is here. He's going for the base push. He's hoping to start drop some static D, and he's got one watchtower. For now, this is enough. The Marv getting stuck over there doing pretty much nothing, but now repairs right onto the front line, and he's going to be moving into the home of Futurama. And actually, if he could... That's a lot of husks. That's 6 husks right there, which means if Futurama doesn't kill those husks right now, and if BikeRush doesn't just run them over, then these engineers are really going to be bolstering the army of Futurama. Magnetic mines go down, but of course they're right next to this war factory, so he's going to get the repairs. A couple of husks still do exist. Futurama going for the kills. He's going to trade out a couple of Venoms for them. He gets all of the husks, and that is what he needed to do. The power plant does still remain. BikeRush's push is still alive. This would have been so much stronger if the Marv had been on the correct side, but I'm guessing it got caught by the pathing there. A little bit of stealth tank action in the south, nothing too much to worry about. And not being able to face off against the Redeemer, trading out all of those avatars. Now, BikeRush doesn't have a big army left, but he does still have a strong army. He does have the EMP grenades, so we'll have to see if he's able to actually make those work. Even an engineer on the front lines here. But for now, the Redeemer back up to full HP. Could be firing off a Rage Gen to try and weaken this army up before the big engagement. All the Tibs gone. The blue field is dry as well. This one harvester full of Tiberium, but it doesn't get sniped, so that's great for Futurama. Doing a great job with these stealth tanks. Just about everywhere on the map, he's been poking and prodding with those stealth tanks, and now BikeRush is actually getting a little bit of value out of the original main field of Futurama. Going to be sniping one more Pitbull, almost gets a second one, and for now, these harvesters, they're going to escape, which is great for Futurama. If BikeRush can snipe that one in the back, that would be nice for him. Going to get these harvesters for sure. No escape for those guys, but they were empty. And actually, he's going to trade out both of these stealth tanks, it looks like. It's going to be hard for him to escape in this situation. Loses both of the stealth tanks. And has he rebuilt? No, he hasn't rebuilt his tier 3. He lost it over here, which means no more stealth tanks, at least for a little while. And it looks like Futurama may be looking to do the same exact thing that BikeRush did. He may be looking to move into the ancestral home of BikeRush. And BikeRush already keeping a good eye on those fields, but Futurama is certainly not out of things just yet. If it comes to a straight-up engagement, I have to go with BikeRush. Between the EMP grenades, the Behemoth, and the Mammoth tanks, this Marv is going to be an even match for that Redeemer. No sweat. Of course, Venoms, with their supercharged ability, can even things up, and he's going to go for a snipe on Rifleman squads, which is something. He does indeed decide to go for that Pitbull, eventually trades out a couple of Venoms for those missile squads, and all of those units are easy peasy pickings. Now, BikeRush missing a trick here, not spotting that Conyard on the move, not spotting the easy target that it was. Everything hanging out in the south here, and BikeRush drops a Rax. I assume this is going to be missile squads, but I want it to be an engineer. I want him to just go for the cap. Oh my gosh. Okay, there's the backup. He immediately starts shooting it, and he's going to take a little bit of damage here, but there are the Venoms for the snipe. Nice and easy. Probably needs to drop another AA battery, and there's the Venom Vertigo here to drop some bombs actually on these harvesters. Go for the splash, go for the kill. Second engineer does end up going down because of the shredder turret with the supercharged particle beam. Upgrade is awesome at killing just about everything. Of course, in the past, we've seen people use that supercharged shredder turrets as anti-vehicle weapons, even though that is, of course, not what they are, necessarily strongest against. The Redeemer is going to allow Futurama to push everything else out of this base, and with no real army here, you can't contend the Redeemer, which means this field is given up. BikeRush has already transferred the harvesters away. Might as well send them over here. He does have 2 working away at his new main base. Marv is even harvesting this field up here. A lot of rocket troopers, which in combination with the EMP might prove to be trouble for this Marv. The entire army is way down south. There's the lockdown, the EMP. There's going to be a lot of free damage on this Marv. He may be able to get away, but no, for now the EMPs are good enough. The army is so slow moving, and this is one of the trade-offs. BikeRush's army can hit real hard, but it's so slow to move. Gives away some heroic status to that one rocket squad. And Mammoth tanks now on the front line. They're going to be able to clean up this army, or at least in theory they should be. Although with these Behemoths going down, there's not a whole lot of support for these Mammoth tanks. They're so split up, and these rocket squads are going to give them a little bit of trouble. And eventually, the Venoms may be able to clean this up. A slingshot does show up. It's going to be able to push these Venoms away. And okay, so that's enough for now. BikeRush deciding to go for the air tower since his slingshot was pretty much able to clean up almost every single Venom. I mean, 2 still remain, and the Pitbulls may be able to clean those up. That army was looking like it was in dire straits, and this one harvester going to be taking a little bit of damage. Still enough strength left in this force to be able to go for the base kill. He's just marching on in, and with no Redeemer and with that Avatar and Rocket army completely eliminated, this entire base is forfeit. So Futurama is out of this game unless he can make the stand with only this Redeemer. Although no EMP grenades, so this army is gonna have a little bit of a tough time taking on the Redeemer head on. Infrastructure completely shot. No tib spikes for Futurama, so this is it. If BikeRush loses from here, does he have shockwave artillery off cooldown? I guess the answer is no. Futurama does not want to walk too far forward with this Redeemer. That Redeemer is not as strong as he thinks. All right, he backs up. Going to be long distance harvesting that northern field. Heavy aircraft transition, dual airfield out for BikeRush. Looks like it's just going to be straight hammerheads, and of course, they got that AP ammo upgrade, making them a little bit more robust, but BikeRush doing no favors for Futurama. Is he just going to have to sell out of this game? He canceled whatever he was building. Yeah, if he can't get a refinery, this game is just over. BikeRush doesn't maybe know exactly how close to victory he actually is. Redeemer walking over here. He's going to crane and then sell the Conyard, maybe? Builds a crane and sells the crane. That's interesting. Either Futurama or me, one of us doesn't know what we're talking about. And it looks like it's me. Futurama packs up his MCV. He's going to move on out. He's heading down south with some bikes. He's going to get a kill potentially on this heavy harvester, but he's going to have to trade out for it if he really wants it. The answer is he does not want it. Hammerhead's moving on out. You know what? A double engineer Redeemer is really bad at dealing with Hammerheads. Nearly getting the kill on the MCV. There's the GG, and Futurama is out of here. Bike Rush able to stand tall. And in this particular case, Futurama nearly had him on the ropes. At least once there. I'm really curious about this resource graph because, yeah, neck and neck. But Bike Rush took his third field earlier, and then he moved on to a fourth field, and Futurama basically didn't. And that's where the game became a whole lot less competitive, is right around there. So that'll do it for this match. Thank you guys very much for watching, and this is Sybert signing out.